Hi everyone, it's me Chris here with Body Nova Fitness Coaching. And what I wanted to talk to you guys today is about exercise variety and the angles. And reason being is when I see people, a lot of people, the same people over and over in the gym exercising, they're using the same exercises done exactly the same way. Sometimes it's, insecurities because they're strong with that, and then just sometimes we just get caught in a rut and things like that. And the thing is, when you're changing the angles of some of these exercises, it can bring you additional benefits, whether, it can be fat loss, where if you're, and I'll explain it later, where if you're changing from a snatch grip deadlift versus a regular deadlift versus a sumo deadlift, and the range of motion is longer, so you have to work harder to lift the same weight. Or if it's just changing, like with lateral raises, and I'll show this later also, where you're changing the position of the arm or the body so that the muscle will work harder at a certain range of motion or more in another range of motion, and all these little changes will change the way that your body reacts to exercise, and it could break some gaining plateaus. All right, one of these examples would be with tricep extensions. Okay, or skull crushers. A lot of people call them skull crushers. Okay, so when most people, and I'm going to turn it sideways here, when most people do the skull crusher, they're with dumbbells or the barbell, they're on a flat bench, and this is their range of motion. You can only go so far, because if you go too far, you'll smack your head with the barbell, or in this case with a dumbbell. So you have this as your range of motion. Now, what if instead of going on a flat bench, you go on a decline bench? So now, where my range of motion is this, I'm going to lean back to simulate a decline. Now so I have that much more movement that I can use. So with that extra movement, that's going to make my triceps work a little harder, but at the same time, I may not be as strong as I am with this grip. So that's something to think about. You want to vary those angles, because sometimes the longer range of motion will make the muscle work harder, but the shorter range of motion will allow you to express your strength better. But when you use that longer range of motion, when you go back to the shorter, you'll make additional improvements. Okay, so that's something to think about. And again, I'll show you with all these different exercises here. Okay, right here I'm doing the incline lateral raise. The incline lateral raise is very powerful at the beginning of the range of motion. Versus this is a lean away lateral raise with the cable, which is really strong at the end of the range of motion. Okay, the point that I'm making by showing you these different lateral raises is that they require your body to recruit the muscles that you use in a different way, and that's what shaking the body up is all about. And you'll see this again with these two different pullovers. Now, neither one is better than the other, but what you have to understand is the one that I'm doing has a longer range of motion versus the one that Kelly is doing with a shorter range of motion. Again, with the angles here, I have the spider curl here, which is a great end range of movement for the biceps, meaning the bicep work hardest at the end of the exercise. This is a barbell curl, which is a mid-range exercise, and next you'll have the preacher curl, which is a beginning range exercise. Okay, the thing with all of these is that you have two separate heads of the bicep, a long head and a short head. Okay, how your arm is positioned will determine which one of the heads of the bicep will work the hardest. Okay, now with these two deadlifts, they might look the same on the surface, but if you notice, the picture on the left, my grip is wider, my hands are further apart. That's a snatch grip deadlift, and that snatch grip deadlift causes me to lean forward more and make my hamstrings have to work harder. This may cause me to be not quite as strong as I am in the regular deadlift, but the other good thing about this is if I'm trying to use this to lose weight, I'll burn more calories. Okay, a lot of you are going to ask, what does this have to do with me? How do I make this work for me? And this exercise is a good example. This is the Telle leg lift. Okay, so I'm bringing my knees up, and when I get to the top of the exercise, I straighten my legs out and lower them down. Okay, This makes my abs work harder because the lowering is called the eccentric or the negative. I'm stronger on that than I am in actually lifting them. So I'm making the exercise harder while I'm the strongest so that my abs can work the hardest. And this will actually also become evident in the next exercise that I'm doing with curls, because I'm actually curling this dumbbell sitting straight up. Then I lean back into an incline curl, which I'm not as strong on the incline curl, and lowering it. And I'm using the same concept. And this same concept will allow my muscles to work harder, or allow me to work harder than I normally could with either exercise, and get an extra benefit, whether that's muscle gaining or fat loss because I'm doing more work or higher quality work, or creating an environment for fat loss by using this principle here.